Aloha, my kako. This is Oracle of the Golden Spiral. Today we're doing a reading for Gemini placements. Sun, moon, rising, whatever you would like. Gemini placements. We're going to be looking at what is the most important message for Geminis right now. Most important messages for Gemini right now, please. For Geminis, most important messages for Gems. Okay, Gemini, you have the Magician, the Four of Pentacles, the King of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, the Eight of Swords, a little bit of relief there, and the Temperance. Okay. Let's take a look at this Nine of Swords. I'm really interested in this Nine of Swords, Eight of Swords. That's too many. Nine of Swords, please. Queen of Cups. And one more for the Nine of Swords. One more for the Nine of Swords for Gemini, please. Why the Nine of Swords for Gemini? Okay. Gemini, right now you're taking a very it's so funny because your inside is definitely not matching your outside. What you're portraying to the world is this very cool, calm, collected person. You're trying to apply logic in how you respond to almost everything that's coming your way. But inside, there's definitely some more personal energy. It's almost as if any plans or any anything that you'd like to do or to say or to create, you're really kind of keeping that to yourself right now. It seems like, you know, we've been on this steady path, but somehow we've run into, there's like this force field we've run into that has a lot to do with who you are, what you love, what means something to you. And this has kind of put you in your head. I mean, we've really got the 17 of Swords over here. Let's see. Yeah, it's like all of it is here, and there's this barrier of not letting it out into your surroundings. Excuse me, I'm having a throat frog. Maybe it like there's no communicating this out with the outside world. It really is kind of like this personal process and thought pattern that's going on with you. Tell me about the Knight of Pentacles for Gemini, please. Tell me about the Knight of Pentacles for Gemini. Okay, so you've decided that you're doing something, but it's almost as if what you're doing is not really in congruence with your heart. But apparently you've decided you're doing it, and so there's like some type of committed energy to do that. Sticking to the plan is what I'm getting. Continuing, because that also means something to you, going ahead and sticking to what you said you were going to do, or what the plan is, but you're just hoping for some type of change or revival in that. Let's see. Why the Eight of Swords? Why the Eight of Swords for Gemini, please? Let's take a look at that. Why the Eight of Swords for Gemini? It's like you want something to work out, but, and you're putting in the effort to do that, but it's almost as if you're running into challenges, or you're kind of in your own head, because what you see in the outside world is not what you are. It's like a, right, we're on the path, we're doing it, but there's like this like secondary energy. I'm getting this energy of like needing for something to adjust or to change or to, how do I get, how to, it's like you're hoping that something will spring out of this, whatever you're putting your energy into, like somewhat like a revival, like things will adjust to be what it is that you're looking for. But I think that there's, what you're seeing reflected back to you may not necessarily be what you were hoping or wishing for, but that's has a lot to do with the fact that we're not, I'm trying to explain, like, it's stuck within you, so it's not coming out to this, to the outside world, which also means that the outside world is not reflecting it back to you, causing more burden and challenge in whatever it is that you started working on a while ago. It's kind of like if you don't set your intentions out there, or if you don't tell people what you want, then it's really hard for them to be able to provide that, right? If you don't let the, we're manifesting, but if we don't let the, but are we really manifesting if we're not putting that intention out into the world? Like, it's in your thoughts. You know that you have the capability to do it, but if we're not putting that into the outside world, then are we really telling the universe that that's what we want to manifest, right? Tell me about the Eight of Swords. Oh, sorry. Tell me about the Eight of Swords. There's like this fear that you're not going to get back what you put into it. There's this fear of non-reciprocation. Or like, yeah, like this, I'm getting the short end of the stick kind of feeling with this. I mean, that's kind of what you're seeing, what you're projecting out. Which, you know, we're holding back, and so it feels like we anticipate we're not going to get what it is that we are really searching for, and so we're anticipating having to go back in and rewrite that plan. I think the plan is fine. I think it really has to do with projecting it out into the world around you, and kind of giving it time to marinate out there, and then for everything to kind of align so that it can be shown back to you, right? So tell me about the Temperance. Why is the Temperance advice for Gemini? I'm getting this really like, you know, if you want the cup to be filled with what you want it to be filled with, you have to pour that into it. Does that make sense? I'm holding that making sense. Tell me about the Temperance. Tell me about the Temperance here for Gemini. Clarify the Temperance for Gemini. Why is the Temperance here for advice for Gemini, please? Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords. Why the Temperance for Gemini, please? Yeah, I think it's about bringing your truth out into the world, being unafraid to do that, not worrying about what it's, you know, what all the possible outcomes of that are, but really about just doing it to have that authenticity out in the world. I think there will be a change in it. What the change you're looking for comes from opening and letting this man, you know, what it is that you desire and into the world. So it maybe even fully admitting it to yourself. It's like I get this energy of, if I put my foot in the boat, like it's not gonna work out. So we're going through the motions, but what's missing is this dream and this engagement and this emotional, like what it means to you. And it's almost as if you're afraid that if you say what it means to you, or you even admit to yourself what it means to you, that it has the possibility of hurting you or causing trauma in the future. But really all it's doing is making that goal, that dream, that wish immobile. Am I making sense? Oh. Yeah, I'm getting it again, that like where if you want your cup to be filled with something and you want to go out into the world and have that cup matched by someone else, you need to clearly decide what you're pouring into it. Because right now I think we're holding back because maybe we don't even want to admit to ourselves what it is that we want or how much it would mean to us. And yeah, it's like if you don't show the world what you truly want, then it can't be reflected back to you. So it's like we're kind of on pause. There's like there's a block. So then we anticipate pause, and pause is what we get until we go ahead and we can clearly define and speak, be brave enough to speak that truth into the world, so that the wheels can get turning and the world can kind of reflect that back to you. Yeah. Possible outcome for Gemini. Possible outcome for Gemini if they unblock this. If it's in love, you may find your counterpart, or if you're working towards that person, they may come in. You're gonna have regardless, you're gonna have a lot more control and power in your emotional and your tangible experience. You may create everything that you want, or at least, feel, if you open up, at least we're at the King of Cups and King of Pentacles. Look, you almost have all the kings there. And the it's better to be here than to be in the 8 of, this is like the projected, you know, what you're projecting out. What energy are you projecting out to? So if we change that dynamic and we open this kind of cut off floodgate of what really lives inside us and let that out into the world, we end up, you've already, you know, you're putting out that King of Swords, very decisive, very kind of, I'm getting a clinical feel off of it right now, like as far as like, you know, I'm doing the motions, I'm doing the prescribed method of what it should take, because clearly that is, you know, in an intelligible way, that's been tried and true and proven. But you're gonna gain a better mastery over your emotions, over your material world. And I will note that the king that's missing here, we're almost to Emperor status, right? Because the Emperor is all four kings. But what's missing here is the King of Wands. And the King of Wands is that person that just, it's the energy of going out. He's the self-made man. He just goes out, takes and creates from what's inside of him. And so it's like we're on the path to get that creative, and somehow we've stopped because the emotional investment, the admission of our true dreams, we're holding those back in fear that we won't, that what if we don't get them? But the way to get them is to not hold them back. Gemini, that is what I have for you. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy with me. As always, I'm wishing you all the best, and mahalo.